You know who doesn't love hand stitching? Your hands. Make sure you check out the fourth tip in this video. It is a game changer. No lie. This tip comes from Trust Life, one of my YouTube members. If you are hand stitching and you have some softer leather that's getting in the way, you can use a ruler or some other flat item and pin that up and out of the way like you can see me doing here on that specific stream. As you're moving along with your hand stitching, you move the ruler and pin different spots of the leather and keep it out of the way so you can keep your needle moving nice and freely. A lot of people don't realize that you can lock your stitches down. Once you've threaded your needle, you just take the needle and push it back through the thread and that'll lock it in place. This isn't as necessary if you're using waxed thread because that thread will cling to itself and the needle, but even then, sometimes this is something you need to do. When people are explaining saddle stitching, a lot of the time it is just you have two needles, you put them both through the hole, always crossed the same way. But if you want your stitches to be even stronger with a little more tension, once you've put your needles through, always crossing the same way, one side you loop one way, the other you loop the other way, you pull it through on every hole. This is putting a little knot in each section, just like the beginning of tying your shoes. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of skeptics on this game-changing tip that I have for you guys, but it's real. All you need to do is get yourself a pair of breathable mechanics work gloves that have a latex palm. Where a lot of the time I was using a pair of standby pliers to help me pull my needles through, most of the time these will do the trick for me. And I can still use my phone with them because they're nice and thin and tactile. I'll have an affiliate link to these specific gloves in the description of this video. If you feel like helping the channel out a little bit, I get a little kickback. But there are tons of gloves like this at your local hardware shop. Maybe you want to go check those out. A lot of leathercraft projects, especially costumes and cosplay and armor, etc., call for you to butt a curved piece of leather together and stitch it together a little awkwardly. Now, if both of these curves are the same, you can put it flesh to flesh like I've done here, stitch it snugly all the way down, and then open it up, give it a little hammer, and it'll pop into place. So this is going to work best when you have thicker, firmer leather. That way the leather isn't warping as you bend it open or just staying tight and you've got a weird ridge. So play around with what you can do this with, but it's a great tip for saving time and not losing your mind when you're trying to stitch those butts together. Butts together? If you've got a couple minutes, I've got one more quick video for you guys, how to cut leather easier. Go check that out. And until next time, keep on being creative in whatever it is you do.